This is a video labeled "Our paths may cross, but not necessarily in the same direction, or not necessarily heading to the same place per se." We meet many people along our lives. Um, One person usually gets to meet hundreds or even thousands of people throughout his lifetime. Of course, that depends on the nature of their life, the nature of their work, the place they live in, their health conditions as well. But even if we might cross with some people along our life, it is not necessarily that we head together in the same direction, right? We might not necessarily go to the same place we are both heading in. And a notable example that I can recall from this is a student who I have worked with. The course that I work in have students that usually need a certain effort or certain level beyond which they can achieve the acing grade. They can also pass, but passing requires much lower amount of effort. And what I usually do with these students is that I try to provide them as much support as possible so that they get to the part where they can actually ace the exam and not just pass it. And it is always also a function of how much effort are they willing to put. If they're willing to put this amount of effort, then they get this amount of grades, which is passing. They prefer to put in even more effort and get rewarded with their acing grade. They can also do this, and I usually provide them support so that they can head to this point. So the student that I'm talking about is a special student. This student is able to, I can see in him the aspects of a hard-working student, a student who can provide effort and get to this part, basically. But what happened afterwards is that I noticed very little or no effort being made in their progress as the course progresses. They're not willing to provide as much effort as I would like them to provide, and the amount of effort that I am willing to support, of course, so that they can ace, right? This is the goal. What I find is that this student is not necessarily aiming for this part. They're basically aiming for this part. And this is what they tell me. They tell me I'm just willing for a passing grade in this course, but I'm willing to work for another course. That course, this student tells me that they work in another course, and that course needs more effort just for the passing grade. So if they, for this course, they need 10 units of effort for passing, the other course needs about 100. Right. So in any reasonable human being, they would probably prefer to provide more effort for this course, which is exactly what they have done. The amount of effort that I'm seeing from that student is because they are willing to provide more effort for the course that they need more, right? And it is not necessarily my course, it's another course. And so the thing that I'm willing to learn from this, or the gist of this message, or the message of this video, is that this student, provided that they will keep going to give effort as the course progresses, if this is a graph, the function of progress or the function of effort as the course progresses for a hard-working student or student that needed to ace this course will be somewhere like this. As the course progresses, they're willing to give it more effort, and the threshold for acing would be probably here. A student who is not willing that much to provide effort would probably do something like this, and they might not pass even, so the function would probably be here. But this student was different. They were willing to pass, and they were willing to do this part, okay? And they were willing to pass this exam, and they were probably doing the amount of effort that is required for them to pass. However, I was prepared to work along the side. So that was my expectation. That was the thing that usually the roads cross at this point, that we both are willing to work along this line and not along this line. So I would have done with that student a little bit, or probably a huge chunk of effort for them to get to this level. But they were not. They were probably doing this amount of effort, this amount, but at a different course. And you can probably now at this point take a message, and probably with the people that you meet, think about people who you might have crossed roads with, but you didn't end up doing what you both wanted to do, and that is different in different aspects. But you can always end up in a position where you think that, well, our roads might have crossed, but we will not possibly go in the same direction, and that's the gist of this video. Thank you.